So, I was just blah blah blahing my way around the internet because there was absolutely nothing for me to do today. It's New Year's, which means that nothing is open, so I have nothing to do with my life. Unfortunately. So I was bebopping my way around the internet trying to find something of importance. When I went to Nascar.com, now don't expect me why I was expecting to find something of importance at Nascar.com, but I still went there anyway, and I saw that they have like a season awards for 2014 coming out now. I saw a few of them, I remember a couple of them, but I decided that I was going to have my own kind of season awards. So, why don't we just get right into it? I'll do the ones that I can remember from NASCAR.com, and I'll throw in a couple of my own, because I want to do like a side-by-side comparison here, but anyway. What should I start with? Let's just put all my chips in at once. Driver of the Year. NASCAR.com went the easy route and picked Kevin Harvick, champion. Now, I might see where they're coming from, but I feel like this is just, they were like, screw it, let's not try too hard this time. We can try hard when the season comes around. Yeah. My pick for Driver of the Year. It's probably Brad Keselowski. I know what you're doing. Don't go for that dislike button too quickly. And let me explain myself. Brad Keselowski. 5 wins going into the chase. 5. Most of all the drivers. That's impressive enough. You know. And not only that, but when he's faced with adversity in the chase, what does he keep doing over and over and over? Except for Phoenix. He faced scrutiny in a race. What does he do the next week? He wins. Makes it into the next thingamajig. Yep, he wins. He won Talladega after having a big brawl at where the fuck was that? Charlotte, I think? It was somewhere. Some night race. But, yeah, he comes right back and wins. When all these analysts are saying he's not going to have any friends on the field, it's going to be impossible for him to win this race. He won the race. So, winning a race on your own at Talladega, you know, that's cause for celebration, okay? It's not something that you see every day. Especially when you had stuff like David Reagan winning with help of David Gilliland, and Keselowski just said fuck tandem drafting and just went boop. So yeah. The race ending sucked and I was bored by it, but it was still impressive. Anyway, let's move on. We've discussed best driver of the year long enough. There was disappointment of the year, or most disappointing driver of the year, and they gave that to Matt Kenseth, and I'm shaking my head still to all the people that are saying, oh, what happened to Matt Kenseth? He had so many wins last season. Why didn't he get any wins this year? What a disappointing year. And I think, just take every win that he got last year and convert it to a second place, and he had the exact same season. Didn't win the championship. Got a whole bunch of top 5, amazing amount of top 5s. I think he finished half the season in the top 5. Okay? That's a disappointing year. Why don't we point our fingers at drivers like Greg Biffle? What happened to Gregory? Oh my goodness! How'd he make the chase? He had one of the worst seasons of his career, and it was coming off a half-decent season. Oh my goodness, Greg. Oh my goodness. And even after that, he's still the best driver at Roush. Oh, Greg. Greg! Oh, Greg. Wow. Gregory. I just... Yeah, so most disappointing driver of the year for me has to be Greg Biffle because his season was just atrocious. Oh. I've had this fucking cough for a week and a half, but anyway. Yeah. So, yes, most disappointing driver of the year. I mean, out of everyone that I could have picked, Greg Biffle, definitely. Surprise of the year, Kyle Larson. Now, I thought that Larson wasn't ready for the Sprint Cup. I thought they should have given him one more year in the Nationwide Series. And I will say, he did prove me wrong. He showed that he was wholly capable of holding his own in the Sprint Cup Series. But is this really that surprising? If you look back in Larson's career, you'll see that he's won a few races already in lower tier series. And looking at his age now, he won those races when he was really, really young. Okay? He is highly accomplished in racing. He's had a decent career so far without even being in the Sprint Cup Series. He had a decent career before coming in here. And to say that, oh my goodness, I didn't expect Larson to do good. You know, I had my doubts myself, but in all honesty, I probably shouldn't have. Like, to be perfectly honest, I think Chase Elliott could drive in a Sprint Cup race next year and win. I'm pretty sure he could. But, as for Larson, it's pretty surprising that he didn't win a race this season in 2014. It is pretty surprising because I think he probably should have. That's just my take on that. So, as for my biggest surprise of the year, I would have to go with, I was gonna say Jimmy Johnson only winning 4 races, but, biggest surprise of the year, probably should have been thinking of that. Yes. Fuck it. Eric Jones. Biggest surprise of the year, Eric Jones. He, you know, while it was in a truck that is more powerful than most of the other ones, you know, Eric Jones still managed to win races. You know, he dominated that Phoenix race, although the win was practically given to him due to the fact that he was in a Kyle Busch truck. You know what? He dominated that race, so fuck it. Eric Jones. Moving on, let's see here. What else do we got? What else is on the slate? Sounded like there was a dog barking from inside the car. Where the fuck did that come from? Oh well. What else is there to talk about? Race of the year. They gave it to the Ford EcoBoost 400, and I'm surprised that they didn't give it to the Daytona 500 because they just made a whole spectacle out of Junior winning that. They just made a whole spectacle out of that. Well, they gave it to the EcoBoost 400, and you know, it generally was a good race. I'm not gonna knock it. The ending sucked. I will give it that. It was all too predictable with those cautions. God damn it. But, you know, there's always that edge of uncertainty in the Daytona 500s. But this Daytona 500, I hardly actually remember this Daytona 500. Like, the race that I remember the most would probably be the whatever they call the Watkins Glen race. That, I'm giving that the race of the year. I mean, I hate road course racing, and damn, son, that was entertaining shit. I wanted Marcos Ambrose to win, but AJ Allmendinger pulling through, you know, for the save or whatever. You know, that was entertaining racing right there. That was way better than that shit where they just drive around in circles 5 seconds out ahead of everyone else and just hang out for 200 laps like they did at half the races this year. Anyway, team of the year went to Penske. I'll give them that one. Because Penske really pulled through in a game of Hendrick engines. Because holy fucking shit. Every Chevrolet team, except for like Childress, I'm pretty sure. Or probably even Childress. There was one team that didn't, and they probably didn't win any races. Probably Furniture Row Racing, because fucking Martin Truex Jr. is on that fucking team. But anyway. Yeah. I'll give them to Team Penske because they really pulled through in a game of Hendrick engines, because you see all those drivers with the Hendrick engines and there's just like, it should have been just Chevy winning every goddamn fucking race. But then Penske comes in and gets like, how many wins did they get? They got like, it was 11, 12, or 13 wins. Penske did. And then Almirola was given a win by being at the right place at the right time during a race that could have been, you know, could have waited to do everything. And oh, would you look at that? Big Hero 6 is playing at the theater today, or tomorrow, at some point. I torrented that. I've already seen the movie. Go fuck yourself. But anyway, let's get to personally made awards here. So we all know how much I hate Kyle Busch. Well, I have an award that I like to call the Kyle Busch Moment of the Year Award, given to the best thing that Kyle Busch does the entire year. And I am looking at this Ford Mustang GT. It looks like a 2000 to 2002 one. I like the 90s one better because they're like smaller and look more sleek, and that one's just not as good. It's missing the grill piece. I wonder if that will bring it down like $2,000. Doubt it. Now this is the fucking car that I want right here. Oh, hell fucking yeah. But beyond that, let's get back to what I was doing. The Kyle Busch Moment of the Year. For the best Kyle Busch moment of the year. It's kind of a toss-up between when he flipped at that one track and yeah, I'll give it to that one when he flipped at the track. It looked like he wasn't going to flip onto his roof, and then he flipped onto his roof and he was out, and I was so happy. It's a good race. That was a good race. But beyond that, for more Kyle Busch of the year would be that string of weeks, like that full month where every race he would wreck and end up in the 30s. That was probably the best Kyle Busch moments of the year. But if I had to give it to one moment, it would be the flip where it almost looked like he wasn't going to flip, but then he flipped. That was fun. I'd say Brawl of the Year, but that one's a bit obvious. Brad Keselowski versus Jeff Gordon. Brawl of the Year. Last year I gave it to Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin. Even though what happened at the end of the race happened at the end of the race. So. Anyway, let's see here. What else do we got? I could say worst race of the year, but there's a lot of candidates. Like the Pepsi 400 or fucking Coke Zero 280. That was unexpected. Whatever race that, like Joey Logano won all the led all the laps. That one, and then Brickyard 400, that's a candidate as well. I give it to the Coke Zero 280 because that was just fucking bullshit. They had the entire afternoon to do it, and the track has lights. You're gonna call a race early that at a track that has lights at 2 in the afternoon. Are you fucking kidding? You had 8 hours of that day to get the track dried, and you are already halfway through the race, and there's lights on the track. It's not like fucking Talladega, where there ain't lights on the track. This was Daytona, where there's lights on the track. So, how about we put down one last thingamajig here. Usually I like to take a look at how I felt at the start of the season and how I feel at the end of the season, and if I've really gotten some strong anger or strong discontent towards someone or strong favorability towards someone. And this year saw a lot of drivers, most of them, go from me liking them or not caring about them to me hating them. And there were a few that I went from not caring about to liking, and a few that I went from liking to not caring about. But mostly it went to hatred, and it went there quickly. So I'd say I'd give the most hated driver of the season award to Joey fucking Logano. Not only did he have a ride at a team, and I'm going to continue driving so that I don't look weird just talking to myself sitting here. Not only did he take a seat away from a driver who worked their ass off in the Nationwide Series to just trying so hard to get a spot back in the Sprint Cup Series, going for a championship. And Joey Logano just comes in and takes it. What the hell did he do with his career? What the hell has he done with his career before this year? He sat around and won a race his rookie season. Oh, whoop-de-goddamn fucking do. He wrecked in a whole lot of races. Did that. In 2010, I believe. No, that was that. Nah, might have been 2010. It was the Coke Zero 400 in either 2009 or 2010, where he caused a wreck that ended up with Mark Martin getting out. That was only the beginning of his destruction of Mark Martin, because in 2000... Mark Martin looks like he's about to finally win at Pocono after all these years. And then this fucking accident comes in. That still hurts. That still hurts. It's been a few years now, and that still hurts. That was Mark Martin's race to win. That was Mark Martin's race to win for Michael Waltrip Racing. In that 55. That was his race to win in the 55. Then Joey fucking Logano comes in and takes an open Penske spot. Takes an open Penske spot that could have belonged to a guy that worked and worked and worked, honed his skills, showed himself to be a good driver finally, worked and worked and worked, and just as he gets a chance to get back into the Sprint Cup Series, Joey fucking Logano takes the car. Unbelievable. That was Sam Hornish Jr.'s car. The 22 belongs to Sam Hornish Jr. And then you look at how Penske did in 2014. All those just 11, 12 wins. Every single time that Joey Logano won a race, I thought to myself, that could be Sam Hornish Jr. tearing shit up. And now the best that he could do is the vacated number 9 at Richard Petty Motorsports. And it's just going to end up just like Martin Truex Jr.'s 2014 season. I fucking hate Joey Logano. If Jimmy Johnson were to retire tomorrow, I wouldn't be as happy if Joey Logano said he was going to retire. Jimmy Johnson, don't take this the wrong way, but Jimmy Johnson changed my life. Like, I thought that kind of hatred towards a person was inattainable. Like, there's always some redeeming quality of a person that could prevent them from becoming as hated as I became towards Jimmy Johnson after he won 5 straight championships. I figured out that it's possible for me to hate someone else more than I hate Jimmy Johnson. When Jimmy Johnson won that race in the chase, I wasn't angry. I was just glad it wasn't Joey Logano. I can't believe my life has come to this. Joey Logano is the most hated driver of the year. He's a fucking prick. And that car belongs to Sam Hornish Jr. Anyway, that's the season awards, I guess. That was a frickin' long-ass video, and I apologize, but I just had to talk and talk and talk and talk. I could keep going, but I'm gonna spare you, so if you really watched this long, good on you! But, yeah, not much beyond that. So thank you all so much for watching, and fuck Joey Logano.